Hello. Today I want to talk about not allowing broken trust and disappointment that we've experienced in life to affect us today and going forward in the future. When I was in leadership development as a manager, I would read books or be in seminars, and they were always talking about how to deal with difficult people. But in the quiet of my heart, I was like, what happens if you are the difficult person, right? If truth be told, I was that difficult person. And there wasn't any book that I could find that was able to help me except for the Bible. And what I found is that when you're looking back at the past and reminiscing, right, ruminating on whatever it is that has happened, or if you're looking to the future and you're afraid of the potential of what would happen out there, you miss being in the I am. You miss the present moment, which is the gift of God. That's why God said He is the I am. And if we stay right there with Him, then we won't have any fear and we won't have any regrets or any shame, because we're not looking to the left, we're not looking to the right, right? There's no stepping off of this straight and narrow path that the Lord has. And this takes faith and belief and trust in the Lord. When you look at the word for belief and trust, the very root of both of those words in the Greek has to do with persuasion. The sons of God, the believers, those that trust in God, they are persuaded, as the Greek says. They are persuaded that what God says is true and that they can trust Him and rely on Him. But the children of the devil, the sons of disobedient, it's that same word, to be persuaded, but it has an alpha in front of it, meaning not. They are not persuaded. So that is the difference. So today we have to take hold of the promises that God has for us, that He has plans not to harm us, right? Not to hurt us, but He has plans for a future and a hope, right? There is a purpose for our lives. The devil is a liar, and we want to dispel all of his lies. There is a reason that you are here, and only you can accomplish it. So the devil wants you to be looking to the past and looking to the future so that you don't accomplish what it is that you have destined for you to do. And only you can do it. Only you can do it. So we want to have joy and peace in the present time, because we want to stay right here. If we're constantly looking to the past at like, oh, he did this to me and this one did that one and they broke my trust here and they were abusive, they were neglectful, they lied to me, they gaslit me, they only used me because they were trying to use me as a stepping stone to find something better. They didn't really love me. They just didn't want to be alone. All of these things, if we look back at these past traumas and hurts, okay, then whoever that we're with, we're not present. We're not right there with them. We're missing that time frame. And that makes people think that you're airheaded, or that, you might have short-term memory loss, like you don't really remember what you did yesterday. That's because you weren't there. When you were in yesterday, you were in some other day, right? So the devil, this is what he does. He wants to come in like weeds and get us to worry about today, or actually to have a lust for the future. And so we don't want to do either one of these. We don't want to worry today about what happened yesterday, and we don't want to have a lust for money and financial gain for tomorrow. We have to trust that the Lord has the necessary provisions that we need, and that He will bring them at the appointed time. And like I said, so when you're worried about, whatever happened in the past, you're going to bring into today, right now, you're going to bring in that fear. You're going to bring in that disappointment. You're going to bring in that wall, that barrier. I had one of these walls, and I thought that wall was an instrument to protect me. But what God showed me was that wall was actually a device that the enemy was using to isolate me from me giving love and receiving love as I should have, in a proper way. So when we bring hurts, disappointment, discouragement, all of these things from our past, and we're fearful about the people that we're with, and we're not even present because our mind is somewhere else, we're disassociated from right now, we're harming the current relationships. And I know when I was raising my son, I was so busy worried about my job, what was going on with it and what I needed to do the next day, that I was not present with him, and I missed a lot of his childhood, and I have regrets to this very day because of that. And that can happen in our relationships with our parents, if they're elderly or something like this, or if we're in a marriage, we're just not fully present. We're not showing up for that person, or whatever type of relationship that you're in. At work, maybe you're not giving your very best because you're just worried about something that was going on. You don't want to connect with the people right now in your presence because maybe this person, in relationships, you come in with all kinds of baggage and trust issues. So when you're dating people and you're developing new relationships, you're not present. Like, they're not going to get the full beauty of who you are because you don't want to manifest that. You want to hide behind that wall, and people can't really see you. They can't really learn how beautiful you are and how delicate that you are, because your humble, delicate side is the most beautiful part of you, but that's going to be hidden behind that wall, and that's going to affect your present day relationships. So that's how being in the past in our mind, ruminating on these bad things, it gives us negative sort of toxic energy right now, and and how we're addressing other people and how we're able to receive them. But it also makes us not even be present, so we don't really even have our mind paying full attention, listening, active listening to what the person is saying. We're just kind of there in body, but we're not there in spirit, mind, and soul. And that is so harmful, because when you're talking to somebody, you want them to be present with you. But we can also get lost because we're in the future, worried about that bill. How are we going to make the finances? How are we going to make this happen? How are we going to make that happen? I'm afraid that this person might abandon me. I'm afraid that this person might, do something to break my trust. Whatever it is that you're ruminating on in the future, again, can be that same level of distortion for the right now. You're not present. You're not actively listening to people. You're not showing up. You're not showing the more tender, more beautiful side of yourself. So we don't want to do this. That's what the devil wants us to focus on. But God said he is the I am. And I used to have a real problem with time. I was like, what is this time? I understood when he made space and matter, but I was like, why did you make time? I had a problem with it, but God kind of showed me it. Time is like a scroll that is laid out, and if you ever try to roll the scroll up and eat it at one time, it's going to be more than you can manage. And that's what we're talking about here. When you spread time out and you only live in the very second, right now, what's going on right now, then it's not overwhelming. He broke life up into little portions that you could live. Because if you've ever gone through a very difficult time, if you tried to take all of that pain and eat that and have that in your being at one time, I believe that you just explode. So that's what God has done. He's spread time out so we could receive portions of whatever it is that we're going through, so that we could manage in this little body of dust that we have, so it just doesn't get blown away. So that's what we need to remember. Stay present right now. When you scroll time up and you're worried about today, yesterday, the day before, clear back to my childhood. Well, my parents were terrible. Look at that. So me, I'd have 52 years rolled up together trying to eat that at the same time that I'm trying to deal with this person in my life right now. And then I'm also worried about my future. What's this person going to do to my future? I've taken all of that in. And that's why people have anxiety and depression, and they can't cope with life. You're taking too much time. Time is a gift given by God. Just stay here right now. Trust him. Be persuaded that what God says is true. And then that way, you're not going to be one of these crusty people that shows up in the workplace or in relationships. You're going to be present. You're going to be beautiful. You're going to be soft, right? And you're going to be enjoyable. It's going to be refreshing because you have really absolutely nothing to worry about, because God brings people into our lives. He opens doors and he closes doors. He allows people to come to help teach us lessons. The only thing that we should be focusing on is, why is this person in my life right now? Are they here to teach me a lesson, or am I here to teach them a lesson? What is the beauty that God is trying to get out of this, even if it's something difficult? Because God brings beauty even out of ashes. So show up, Be present. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. These are all steps to the left, step to the right. No, just worry about what God is doing for you and through you. And may this be a blessing for you. I pray that these words come into your heart, and you're able to receive them. Abundance, abundance, abundance is what the Lord has for us. God bless you, and I hope to see you again. Bye.